The biggest thing that comes to my mind when I'm sitting there watching that fight against Jake Paul versus Mike Perry is that boxing is a skill set that you have to have. Now, if you look at what Mike Perry's been able to do in bare knuckle fighting, he's been able to put former world champions out. Eddie Alvarez, Chad Mendes. Chad Mendes was never world champion, but he was a great mixed martial artist. Luke Rockhold, MVP, Michael Venom Page. He's been able to stop these guys just on the damage that he does. And Mike Perry is known for walking forward, not having the best defense when he's doing bare knuckle fighting. But Jake Paul did say this going into the fight, is that Mike Perry makes a lot of mistakes. He makes a lot of mistakes. And right off the bat, round one, Jake Paul hurts Mike Perry. Mike Perry was coming out there hands down, wasn't really moving his head, having a really good rhythm, but that's something that Mike Perry doesn't really have in all of his fight. He's never been the type of guy who has good rhythm, moving, just having his head movement more on the X and Y axis and throwing it, pop, 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 a quick nice jab. He's never been that athlete. So I think for everybody in the commentating booth acting surprised, he's not putting his hands up, he's not no head movement, no defense. That's Mike Perry for you. And he invites the damage. He invites the pain because he eats it and then he's able to dish it out. Now, with Jake Paul, he wasn't able to land a lot of shots. Now, Mike Perry did have some good moments in the fight, but it wasn't enough to put Jake Paul away. Now, one of the things that Jake Paul did very well is he stuck to the game plan. He was going jab to the body, 1-1-4 to the body when Mike Perry went into the shell. He also went 1 to the body and 2 up top. That was the biggest shot that kind of led up to what ended up happening, which is Jake Paul knocking out Mike Perry. Now, we all have to take a step back and say, okay, Jake Paul is getting better. And I said that before. Jake Paul is getting better. He is a boxer. He spot the toughest guys that mixed martial arts can throw at him. Right? Mike Perry nobody comes tougher than Mike Perry. I mean, he's a guy who's fighting bare knuckle fighting. And then you look at, Anderson Silva, he was older, but he is still one of the tough. Nate Diaz, tough as nails, and Jake Paul is beating these guys. Now, how would Jake Paul fare against a rope boxer? I have no idea. The only, closest rope boxer he's ever fought that's kind of active, semi-active, was Tommy Fury. But I think this version of Jake Paul beats Tommy Fury. Now,